Today we start off with classification of animals. That means we will be doing kingdom Animalia in details. We see many animals around us. All animals, including humans, belong to kingdom Animalia. The most important characteristics of the members of kingdom Animalia are: number 1, they are all eukaryotic. Number 2, they are all multicellular organisms. Number 3, the mode of nutrition is heterotrophic. That means they depend on other animals for food or they cannot prepare their own food. Most of the animals move from one place to another. They have special organs for locomotion. All animals stop growing after a certain period of time. The members of kingdom Animalia are classified into two groups, vertebrates and invertebrates, based on whether they have a backbone or they do not have a backbone. The main differences between vertebrates and invertebrates. Vertebrates have an internal skeleton. We are vertebrates. Our skeleton is inside our body, whereas invertebrates they do not have an internal skeleton. Okay, backbone is present. We all have backbones, so all vertebrates have backbones, but invertebrates do not have a backbone. Now, where is the heart located? Our heart is located on the upper side of our body. So, heart is located on the ventral, that means the upper side of our body. Whereas in invertebrates, heart may or may not be present, and if present, it is present on the dorsal side, means on the lower side towards the abdomen. Next, the nerve cord is hollow. In vertebrates, the nerve cord is hollow, whereas in invertebrates, the nerve cord is solid. Okay, and the last one, hemoglobin is present in, we had done this in class 6 also. So, in our body, RBC contains hemoglobin, whereas in invertebrates, the hemoglobin is present in the blood plasma. So, these are the main differences between vertebrates and invertebrates. Vertebrates have an internal skeleton, invertebrates do not have an internal skeleton. Vertebrates have a backbone, invertebrates do not have a backbone. Heart is present on the ventral side of vertebrates. Invertebrates, heart may not be present, and if present, it is present on the dorsal side, that means on the lower side. Today we will be discussing some of the members of invertebrates. Invertebrates were the first animals to evolve on earth. The oldest fossil of an invertebrate is about 600 million years old. Invertebrates are animals without a vertebral column, or commonly known as the backbone. Most of them are soft bodied, delicate animals. Invertebrates are mostly found in water. Some invertebrates are found living as parasites. Now, what are parasites? Parasites are organisms that live on other organisms and take in all the nourishment or nutrition from the other organism. So, invertebrates are mostly found in water, and some invertebrates are parasites. Now, invertebrates are further classified into many phylum. The different phylums are phylum Porifera, phylum Coelenterata, also known as phylum Nedaria, phylum Platyhelminthes, phylum Nematoda, phylum Annelida, phylum Arthropoda, phylum Mollusca, and phylum Echinodermata. Today we will be doing the first four, that is phylum Porifera, phylum Coelenterata, phylum Platyhelminthes, and phylum Nematoda. The first phylum, phylum Porifera, commonly known as sponges. They are known as sponges because they are soft and they also look like the loofah that we use while taking a bath. Sponges or members of phylum Porifera are mostly found in sea water. A few may be found in fresh water. These animals, they have number of openings or pores on their body. That is why the name Porifera, because they contain large number of pores on their body. If you look at the picture also, you will see the pores on the body of the members of phylum Porifera. Water containing oxygen and food enter the body through these pores. Now, on the top of the body, there is a large pore from where the water goes out. So, through the small pores, water containing oxygen and food enter, and the excess water comes out through the large opening on the top of the body. Members of phylum Porifera, they cannot move from one place to another, and most of them remain fixed to the floor of the sea. Examples of members of Porifera are cycon, spongilla, and you can see the picture of a cycon being shown on the screen. The next phylum is phylum Coelenterata, also known as phylum Nedaria. The members of this phylum are commonly known as Nedarians or Coelenterates. They have a radially symmetrical body. Now, what does the term radially symmetrical mean? Radially symmetrical body means the body can be divided vertically into two equal halves through any plane, but it should pass through the central point. So the body can be divided into two equal halves from any plane. That means you can cut it from anywhere into two equal halves, but it should pass through the central point. Look at the picture, you will see how the cylinderates are radially symmetrical. So they are cut from any point or any plane, but it should pass to the central point and they will be divided into two equal halves. Cylinderates have a tube-like body which is hollow and there is only one opening called the mouth. This mouth is surrounded by a large number of finger-like structures called tentacles. Look at the picture. The arrow is showing you the mouth and the tentacles. These tentacles, they contain stinging cells called nidoblasts. So they contain stinging cells called nidoblasts. That is from where the name Nedaria comes from. These stinging cells help the Nedarians in capturing the prey. Okay, it helps the Nedarians to catch their prey. Nedarian literally means stinging creature. Nedarians are aquatic and they are mostly marine and they are stuck to rocks or may be found floating in water. Examples of coelenterates are hydra and jellyfish. Next phylum is phylum Platyhelminthes. They are commonly known as flatworms. Flatworms are the simplest animals. They do not have any legs. They are mostly marine or freshwater animals, but a few live as parasites. I've already explained what is a parasite. A parasite is an organism that lives in the body of another living organism and obtains nourishment from them. So, from the name itself, the body is thin and flat. They look like a leaf or a ribbon. Their body is bilaterally symmetrical. What does the term bilaterally symmetrical mean? So, when you cut the animal or a flatworm through one plane, you will find that you will get two identical halves. That means the halves both the halves look similar. So when you cut through the body of a flatworm, you will get two identical halves. Look at the picture. In the picture, it has been shown that when you're cutting through the one plane, you're getting two identical halves, and the term used is bilaterally symmetrical. Flatworms have only one opening through which they take in food as well as they remove waste products. So flatworms, they have only one opening in their body through which they take in food and get rid of waste products. Examples of members of phylum Platyhelminthes are tapeworm and liver fluke. Both are parasites. The next phylum is phylum Nematoda, commonly known as roundworms. Roundworms are found in marine and fresh water. Some roundworms live as parasites in the body of other living organisms. From the name itself, roundworm, the body is cylindrical, it is very narrow, and it is unsegmented. What do you mean by the term unsegmented? Everyone has seen an earthworm. They have small lines on their body. Those are segments. These segments are absent or not present in roundworms, hence they are unsegmented. They are bilaterally symmetrical. That means their body can be divided into two equal halves through one plane. They have two openings. One is known as the mouth, through which they take in food, and the other is known as anus, through which they remove waste products. Examples of members of phylum Nematoda are pinworm and ascaris. Both live as parasites in the intestine of human beings. Today we discussed that the kingdom Animalia is broadly divided into two groups: vertebrates and invertebrates. Vertebrates are animals with a backbone, and invertebrates are animals without a backbone. Then, under invertebrates, we discussed about four phylums: phylum Porifera, phylum Coelenterata, phylum Platyhelminthes, and phylum Nematoda. I hope you all understood what was explained. We will do the remaining phylums in the next class. Two important terms were also explained: radially symmetrical body and bilaterally symmetrical body. Radially symmetrical body means the body can be divided vertically into two equal halves through any plane passing through the center, whereas bilaterally symmetrical body means the body can be divided into two equal halves only through one plane. Thank you, everyone. I hope you understood what was explained.